Why am I like getting emotional? Hey guys, so before we continue with today's video, I want to thank our sponsor, which is Dossier. Dossier is an online fragrance brand that specializes in inspired by scents of your cult designer favorites for a fraction of the price. You can go on their website and pretty much type in any of your favorite scents, from Gucci to Le Labo to Tom Ford, and the dupe will show up. Their scents start at, I believe, $29, and they're so worth it. One of my favorite scents, y'all know I've worked with Dossier for a while now, is Woody Sandalwood. This is inspired by Le Labo Santal 33, and it smells exactly like it. I've told you guys this so much, but anytime I wear this, I get compliments and people ask me if it's Le Labo, and I'm like, yeah. It's like my third or fourth bottle of this, maybe third. All of their scents that I've tried, I love. This is just so me. What's also really great about Dossier is they have a 30-day money-back guarantee policy. So if you don't like the fragrance after 30 days, even after wearing it every day for 30 days, you can return it for a full refund, which I think is so amazing and really shows that they believe in their brand and in their product. Dossier also has a new payment option that allows you to earn store credit. You just select Catch at the last step of checkout and you get a $10 sign-on bonus credit. You're also rewarded with 10% off in store credit after every purchase. So I love Dossier. If you're looking to smell good this summer for a fraction of the price but still smell amazing, like none of their fragrances smell cheap, y'all. They smell exactly like what they're inspired by. I would definitely recommend them. Use my code for 10% off, and if you do get them, let me know which fragrance you get. So thank you so much to Dossier, and let's continue on with the rest of the video. Okay y'all, so we're gonna be getting ready today. I am just getting ready to do some content. I just want to pre-film a lot and really just be like on top of my shit. So we're just gonna get ready for that. I have my matcha. I have these little matcha packets from Four Sigmatic, not sponsored, but they have these little like matcha packets that have coconut milk in them and like powdered coconut milk, and like it's like a latte in a packet. You just add water or milk. So I was like, perfect, I have like 2 of these left. Bitch, they were expired and I tried it. I made it and tried it. Let me make it cute. Before I realized it was expired, but it just had like kind of like a vomit flavor. And then I looked at the package and lo and behold, it was expired a year ago. So like I just had a sip, but then I ended up going to Starbucks and getting a matcha anyway, which is what I originally wanted to do. So today I just wanted to chat with you guys about life, and I feel like during this past Mercury retrograde, I was just doing a lot of reflecting on like the past. Like this time, what was that, 6 years ago? Like y'all know, like most of you probably started watching me around that time, but just those like vegan days, the days where I was first coming down to LA. On one hand, it's like, wow, golden years, like what a time to be alive, man. Like it was such an exciting time in my life, but also looking back, it was kind of horrible. Like so I was like rewatching a bunch of my old vlogs from that time. It's just so weird. I think also just because so much time has passed, I'm able to look back at that time with like just a different perspective, in the sense of, you know, in the more recent past when I've looked back at that, it's like I cringe or I'm just like ew, and even just like having different thoughts about it. So I guess my more recent realization is we're just like getting right into it, is just like I get why people were so, I get why that was like my most poppin' era as far as just like social media and growth and everything, because rewatching these, like especially around the time when I had already been down to LA a few times, and I just remember this one trip, I think it was VidCon, like me and Sonia went to VidCon and then we went up to LA, and just that trip specifically I feel like was just like the peak. Like everything after that, no offense to anyone around that time, but like everything after that, at least for me, was like downhill. And I feel like just low-key for everyone was still vegan. The vegan movement was still really strong. Just looking back and realizing like, oh, I really didn't know shit. So back to my point, I get why people were like so interested, because my vlogs were like so good at that time. Like they were interesting. It was like a story that you wanted to like keep up with. And now I just don't really have that. I think because so much happened and like I had falling outs with people, and so much of it was like public, I guess, or like, oh, like this person used to be in your vlogs all the time, like why are they not anymore, like what happened? And so I guess I just kind of learned, like, you know, as far as my friendships go, I kind of want to keep a lot of stuff private. Like yeah, maybe I'll post people on my story, but I'm not gonna like do these in-depth vlogs of like everyone that's in my life and everything that I'm doing all the time. There needs to be like a balance for me. So I get like why that time was so poppin', because I was just filming everything. Like I would literally just turn on the camera, film everything, and then just like cut it down. Like it was literally like a reality show. Now I don't even really vlog that much, which I kind of miss vlogging like that to an extent, but also it's just like refreshing to do things and not feel the pressure of like, oh, I need to vlog. Recently too, like not even in relation to this and like what I used to do and stuff, or like that year, but I was just thinking about how like I'm going to Vegas for a weekend, and I was like, oh, should I vlog? And I was like, no, like why would I do that? I was just thinking of last time I went to Vegas, I vlogged it, and yeah, it's like an iconic vlog. Like it's a great memory to look back on. It was my 21st, but just like it's not the best vlog. Like it's kind of shitty. It's really like for the memories and not so much for like the production. Okay, also side note, I opened this new pack of beauty blenders, and they're kind of like a velvety, it's not like pure velvet, but it's like a velvety kind of material, and I don't like it. Like I just feel like it's like making texture on my face. I don't like it. Like it's not blending anything, it's just like spreading it. So I guess like taking that pressure off of myself of like, no, I can like live my life and do things and even go on trips. I mean, I feel like if I went on like a trip, I mean, depending on the vibe, honestly, but like, you know, I'd probably vlog that just like for the memories, and like, I don't know, that I feel like that could be interesting content. But if I'm just like going to Vegas for the weekend, like I don't need to film that. I can just like go enjoy myself. Not having that pressure of like, oh, I need to film everything, and then therefore having like a half-assed vlog because I'm not like all the way into it, or it's like, oh, I'm doing this because I feel like I should. Not that that's like what was happening, but you know, it's just like, why am I making a bad vlog when I could just make no vlog and fully enjoy myself and then go back to like vlogging after? So I don't know, because like I say, oh, my vlogs were good at that time, but it's not like they were just good because of like the tea. Like it's not, I mean, they were like interesting to watch for sure, and it was really just like that era of vlogging. But yeah, like I get why it's like, oh, I get it. And now I feel like I'm just like honestly really boring. But it just shows growth, and that's the thing too that's been kind of challenging for me, is like if I'm on this like, I don't know, healing journey or like setting boundaries journey, I want my life to feel in balance. I want to be creative, I want to be passionate about what I do, and in this space, you know, of content creation and just the, I don't know, speed at which things change, or like, oh my god, like the amount of time and energy that it takes to keep up, you know, especially on TikTok, I feel, because there's like always something, like always a new trend. Like it's like, oh, it's recommended you post twice a day. Like, bro, that shit is exhausting. So it's like, how do I stick to, you know, what's good for me and like my values, honestly, while having like a career? In a lot of ways it's hard. It's, I don't want to say impossible, but I feel like it's really challenging in any sort of job. I feel like just under capitalism, it's really hard to like truly have your life in balance in that way, in like pure harmony. And it's like, what does that really look like? You know, once you get to a certain level and you can just, I don't know, like with being an influencer, for example, like you could make enough money from one post like for the month. You're like, okay, now I can just like, you know, actually make content that I want to make, or like it's not like this constant like, oh my god, I need to be like working, I need to be like researching trends, I need to be like planning my next content. I don't really think right now at this specific time I'm feeling burnt out or anything, but I definitely just notice like, oh my god, bro, like if I don't take the time each week to plan out everything, I'm gonna fall off, like fall off the like motivation wagon. Oh my god, I hate this beauty blender. It's so bad. It looks so patchy. And this foundation, the Derma Blend, it's like a multi-use liquid pigment. I love this. It's always gone on so smooth, and right now it just looks so patchy. So it's just kind of like, what are you supposed to do, bro? So yeah, I found what works for me is definitely planning, filming stuff in advance and just kind of like trying, just kind of like trying to remain ahead. Like I like to be like a week ahead of my content. It makes such a difference, and then I actually have time to like breathe. And the thing is, like, true creativity and inspiration and like, I don't know, joy or just like passion, I feel like all of that comes when you're not forcing it. So it's like you need to schedule out time to just chill, to just like go have fun or just like do something enjoyable for yourself. And even that can be hard, because it's like, bro, I feel like I'm not able to fully like immerse myself in this because I'm like thinking about what I have to do, or like, oh my god, like what am I gonna post? I don't know. And like, I'm saying all of this just speaking generally. It's not like I'm living every day like, oh my god, under this constant pressure, like, but I guess just in reflecting like on that time, 2016, my YouTube channel to now, and not even just me, but just like in general, the space, you know, of influencers, of content creation, all of that, it's like, damn, shit has really changed. And I was talking about this in a recent vlog, but yeah, just like during that time, basically my years of coming up on YouTube, like 2015, 2016, that's when I truly was like growing and just like, oh my god, like I only grew because I was like just really consistent in posting. I don't want to say that's why I only grew, but bro, like I said this in my vlog, I would not like schedule any posts for the month or the week. Like I kind of would have an idea of like, oh, I want to make this type of video. I could just like post, I would just post often. And at a certain point, I think especially in 2016, I was definitely posting every day. So that helped. But I was not like, okay, this day I'm gonna post this day I'm gonna post this day I'm gonna do this on Instagram. And it worked. But you just can't do that now. Like I feel like unless you're already like a huge creator, I don't even know, like I don't know. I feel like everyone just has to like schedule what they do. And I don't know, I feel like because I'm an OG of like YouTube specifically, I miss those days of just like YouTube being fun, and I guess just like social media being more fun. And now it's just like everything has to be like, I want to say commodified, I don't know if that's the word, but like especially on TikTok, like it's like, bro, and just like, oh, I just made a TikTok about this. Like, bro, like if you are a celebrity, why are you making day in my life vlogs like you're an influencer? Like it's just because it's a trend, people are making money off of it, that everyone's like, oh my god, yeah, I need to get on this. And it's like, it's exhausting. Like it's literally like, I literally have to like stop watching TikTok because it's like, oh my god, it's just so saturated. Like why as a grown man adult rapper are you making a day in my life voiceover vlog? Like, and you can just tell it's like his label is like, oh yeah, this is the trend right now, like we need you to do this, you know? Like bro, like leave it to the influencer girls. Like and again, like it's not like I'm like going through life every day like, oh my god. But it's just kind of things I've noticed. And I think especially just when I was reflecting on my old vlogs and just kind of thinking about what the space, the content creation space was like back then, and especially like before then to now, it's like, oh my god, bro, like it's just so many people just put content creation above creativity or actual like, I don't know, like meaningful, I don't know, like art or like a strong message. And don't get me wrong, there's like so many amazing creators out there and people that are like actually contributing, you know, something. But it's just like this oversaturation, the constant like, oh my god, like this needs to like, I just need to get on this next trend, which is a little exhausting for sure. And also I was talking about this in my blog, but I feel like just because I was so early in the social media game, it's been a challenge to, I guess, just relearn how to do it, because my old strategy, if you can even call it that, of just like posting whatever, and like I pretty much only did like YouTube back then. Like that was before Instagram was what it was today. It was even before Instagram stories. Just having to relearn like what works. Like I can't just like post a couple videos a week and call it good. Like I have to like do all this different stuff to feel like I'm like in the direction of growth, or just like anything. So although you obviously have advantages of starting early in the game, it's also like, oh, you gotta like unlearn shit and like relearn shit. So just some like observations. Where is this shit gonna go, you know? Like, I just wonder what's gonna happen, what's gonna be the next thing. Like obviously it's TikTok right now. I say all of this, but obviously I love what I do. I love content creation. I love being creative and like making my own schedule. And it's just like, I love feeling like, I don't know, I'm contributing something or like making a difference in someone's day or life, or just, you know, like especially on my podcast. I feel like that's where the real like meat of my content is. But I guess it's just like, where is this going, bro? And not like, oh, is this even going anywhere? But just like, where is it going? Like, for real. What is the next thing? Like, oh my god. It's not like I'm going through every day of my life being like, oh my god, I'm so stressed out and overwhelmed by this. But this is just a culmination of all these little things I've been thinking about or that have crossed my mind. So, you know, I'm not one to be like, oh, social media is ruining this generation. But I guess it does kind of just make me think. That's just the whole idea of celebrity these days and just how it's so easy for anyone to become famous. I say specifically music because there's so many people every year that will have like a hit song, they're so poppin', and then you never hear from them again. Because it's easier these days to like get views or, you know, just be exposed to a large audience. You don't have to wait for like a label to put you on or an agency to put you on. You can just kind of do it yourself. So it's like, you just have to think about how many people are putting fame and money over actual like art or just, you know, contributing something meaningful, I guess, you know? And again, like y'all know I'm not like I'm not like, oh, social media is ruining. Like, social media is great. You get exposed to so many different ideas and people, and it's like mainstream media, even though I guess social media kind of is mainstream media, but like you know, like magazines or TV shows or the news, you know, you can just be exposed to so many different voices and ideas and information that you wouldn't have been otherwise. But yeah, as far as just like this goes, it's like So it's also just super interesting to think about like people who remain, you know, relevant throughout so many different years. Like I think about Drake. Like Drake was so poppin' in the 2000s and still like now he's like the #1 artist. I think about the Kardashians, like, you know, like they just keep getting bigger and bigger. Still, like people talk about them all the time, and not saying that's the goal, but I guess it's just like what makes them different, or what makes Drake different than like someone else who fell off after a year, or who used to be popping but couldn't keep up. I think I'm just gonna do this little lash today, but I need to go grab my tweezers, so BRB. So, speaking of the Kardashians, have y'all been watching the new show? I wasn't watching it for like the first few weeks that it came out because I just saw the TikToks and like I'm just kind of like whatever. But I started it from the beginning. It's so different from their original show. One of the themes I really like in it is Kim just talking about like coming into her own, and like, you know, just with her divorce from Kanye, just kind of trying to figure out like what she likes again, and like kind of putting herself first, and just I guess like having that confidence of like knowing what to wear, knowing what she likes, not relying on like an external source for like telling her what to do or like for that validation. And I just honestly found that to be super relatable and inspiring, because it's like, bro, you're telling me Kim Kardashian, like one of the most like famous women in the world, still deals with that, you know, of just like, oh, like who am I, what do I like? And especially with the Vogue shoot, like she was on the cover of Vogue. She said I think it was that, like they let her wear what she want, I think. Me realizing that I'm like a fan, like started from the beginning, like the early seasons, which are so iconic. Oh my god, I have to sneeze right now. Are you serious? I guess just going back to like, you know, me. But going back to like, you know, those early years of like the 2016 days, oh, like I was so poppin' then, but it's like, not really, bro. Like that's why I've been on this journey. That's why all I fucking talk about in my podcast, not actually, but like that's why such a recurring theme is like setting boundaries, like breaking out of the good girl, not stereotype, but like mold, that society creates for us and wants us to adhere to. A lot of that is having the courage to ask yourself, like, what is it that I want? Like, I don't want to please the people around me just because I feel like that's what, you know, makes me a good girl, or like makes me a good woman in society, or like, oh, I just want to be polite. Like, no, it's like, what do I want? What am I comfortable with? I want to say no. I don't want to, you know, over apologize. I don't want to go along with something just because others want me to. And so when I look back at that time of my life, like when I was 17, 18, like, bro, and even after that, like, that was me. I was a people pleaser. Like, I didn't know how to set boundaries. I didn't even know what that was. I just always wanted to be nice and like let other people decide. Also part of why I don't really look back at that time fondly, because I just see it for what it is now. And yeah, it felt, you know, so exciting at times and so fun at times, and like, oh my god, like I'm starting my adult life. But like looking back, I'm like, this, just like realizing patterns and like, oh, this is why. And then doing things, setting boundaries, learning how to like live your life for you. You know, that's how we overcome that. And I feel like that's why I do what I do. That's why I have my podcast, and that's like why I talk about this kind of stuff, because that's like the most important thing, you know, over anything, over a fucking morning routine, over a makeup tutorial, or like what to wear. Like, that to me, like, I don't know, like setting boundaries, like living your life for you is like the most important thing. I'm like learning how to do that, especially in a society that like really does not empower us to. I would not like go to an event with this makeup, but I would definitely film TikToks in the house with a beauty filter on. And I guess like that's what I want my brand to be. It's just like talking about shit that I go through, and like hopefully inspiring or helping other people, but especially just other women, to like do the same, or like talk about what they've gone through. And like that's what really I feel like nourishes me so. Okay, here's a poll for you guys. Do you put mascara on the bottom? Because I don't always. Like today, I don't think I'm going to. So, you know, if you are cringing at old versions of yourself, it shows growth for sure. But I think also what's important is like cultivating appreciation, or like love, or even just like empathy for past versions of yourself. Like sometimes, you know, we look back at past decisions we've made, and it's just like at minimum cringy, but at most like we're like angry at ourselves, or like upset over something that we did, or like a decision we made, someone we used to talk to. I just like made a podcast about this, but like healing is about like loving all of those past versions of yourself, and like just having love for them. I was gonna say having gratitude for them, but I mean, I guess if you want. The best brow gel IMO. I also talked about this on my story after posting that podcast about like, it's a healing girl summer, I think is what it was called. I just used to think that healing was like, and I don't think I like even consciously thought this, but I think what I thought is like healing is just a place where like basically your life is like perfect, and like, oh, I don't experience negative emotions, I'm never gonna come in contact with, you know, people who trigger me, or like assholes, or people who try to like take advantage of me, whatever. But really healing is like learning how to have empathy for past versions of yourself that didn't really know any better, or who maybe did know better but didn't, you know, make the right decision. And just learning tools to get through, you know, unpleasant emotions, hard times, traumatic experiences, like whatever. And you know, especially with the law of attraction, and I've talked about this so much, but like especially in those vegan days, like, you know, the law of attraction was also so trendy. I mean, it's still trendy now, but like, at least for me, those were the years when I was like really heavy on it. And I just thought, you know, like, oh, if I'm experiencing an unpleasant emotion, like that just means I'm like low vibrational, and therefore like not on the right path. So I just need to like feel good all the time. And like, if I heal, then I'll just feel good all the time. I don't think I really even thought like about healing back then or anything, but it's like, oh, like if I just do this, then my life will like be perfect. So just learning that it's not about that, and that even if you are healed or on the path of healing, you can still like not feel good. Bad things can still happen, and that's okay. That's part of life, and it's just about learning how to get through them and overcoming them. Beauty supply lip gloss. It's so good. Like, why is it so good? It's not sticky. It's like actually moisturizing. It doesn't really last that long, but like I like reapplying it. So that's my speech of the day. But yeah, so let me know if you guys like relate to any of that. Kind of a lot of topics, but I kind of feel like they're all under the same umbrella. And if you like hearing me talk, definitely check out my weekly podcast, available on all platforms, links down below. So this is like a variation, I feel, of like my everyday look. It's not like the best. I don't really fuck with the lash, but at least you can kind of see what I do. It wasn't really about the makeup in the first place, was it? So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and just for being with me on this journey. If you got to the end of the video, leave a comment down below and let me know. But yeah, like I just feel like, especially those of you who have watched me for a while, I really feel like we're on this path together, just of like growing up and like coming into our own and ourselves, and just like kind of learning what it means to like be ourselves, or to like live the life that we want, like live for ourselves, you know? So good luck on your journey. Why am I like getting emotional? And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video, and of course on the podcast, so check it out. Love you guys so much, and have an amazing day. I've never ended a video like that. Kind of cute. Okay, bye guys.